Blá, 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 blá. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Vamos lá, vamos lá. Deixa eu ver se está funcionando aqui. Quem for entrando vai dando feedback aí. Ver se está aparecendo. Vão dando feedback se imagem e áudio estão bons. Alô? Estão me vendo? Eu não estou me vendo aqui. Som e imagem ok? Beleza. Para mim não está dando retorno. Deixa eu ver no celular aqui. Se está bacana. E começou o evento já, galera. Galera, tive um maior atraso. Aqui apareceu. Para mim apareceu. Beleza. Deixa eu pôr aqui para rodar já. Porque o evento já está começando. Começou agora. Tive atraso, galera. Tive que dar uma saída de manhã. Aí acabei chegando agora. Tive que preparar a live correndo. Que eu tinha esquecido que a live era hoje até. E aí já viu, né? Não atualizou também. Ô, legal, hein? Droga. Tá. Cadê o link desta... Nossa. Salve, Jean, Gabriel, Luizinha, Luazinha, né? Luazinha, desculpa. Nadson. Salve, galera. Tudo em cima? Parapapá. Ih, disse que a resolução caiu. A imagem tá ruim, galera? Vê aí se a imagem tá ruim pra mim. Começou a live na Microsoft. Eu sei, cara. Pera aí que eu tô tentando aqui, tô tentando. Cadê? Aqui, achei. Vou transmitir aqui. Galera, vê se o áudio da conferência tá bom. Não, diz que vai começar meia hora. Quer ver? Deixa eu virar aqui pra vocês verem. Olha só. Isso vai começar em meia hora. Galera, vê se a resolução aqui de tudo, aqui, vê se dá pra vocês chegarem bem, porque eu tô com uma tela nova, essa tela é 4K, e transmitir 4K, as coisas ficam muito pequenas pra vocês. Vê se, pelo menos pro vídeo, tá de bom tamanho. Porque... ele não tá conseguindo transmitir a tela do meu notebook. O software, não sei porquê. Vou pegar um vídeo qualquer aqui, galera. Ver se o áudio do YouTube tá funcionando bem. Tá, pegar aqui. Começou tem um outro evento aqui, ó. Será que é esse? Deixa eu ver se é esse.
Our mission is to empower every person and every
Não é, mas, né?
organization on the planet to achieve more. And our community of developers are instrumental in helping us do just that. They take our latest tools and tech and find new ways to use them for the benefit of all of us. And I'm so excited that this year we have hundreds of student developers along for the ride at Microsoft Build. In addition to Imagine Cup, local students from Seattle schools are joining us. Plus, new this year, Build attendees were invited to bring their children along with them to explore and learn. In fact, we're standing right now in the student zone, which will be the hub for student learning and fun all week, where they can get hands-on with Minecraft, make code, Azure, Visual Studio, GitHub, and so much more. We really wanted this build to be about lifelong learning, and I look forward to what this week
tá travando, tipo, eu tô ali, travou agora, mas eu tô
for all developers, both budding and established. And I also can't wait to see what happens right now.
Na medida do possível.
As our Imagine Cup finalists present their concepts. Build is all about making what's great, and it's the perfect home for the 17th annual Imagine Cup and our next generation of creators. All right.
And let's not forget the spirit of healthy competition, which is what these students have engaged in for the last several months. The Imagine Cup journey began with 30,000 student competitors from 190 countries. From there, teams competed in 3 regional competitions, with the winner of each region taking home a cool $15,000. And of course, punching their ticket to today's championship.
Quite the global journey, to be sure. Almost 30,000 collective miles traveled by our finalists on the way to the championship in Seattle, which is appropriately dubbed Cloud City.
Too true, Coretown. And this time, Cloud City, well, it isn't just about rain. Further ado, let's meet our regional champs and take a look at their experience on the road to the championship.
We are Team Finder.
I'm Easy Glucose.
We are Team Kylie.
It's been absolutely incredible.
It's amazing to have the chance to come to Seattle and meet all these teams.
Meeting people who are equally passionate about making an impact has been a phenomenal experience.
The feeling that I can help somebody to lead a better life is the motivation for me.
The most exciting moment was the announcement. First place, we were like, oh my god!
Quem tiver Twitter e Facebook,
winning would be so great because it would validate Easy Glucose.
Compartilha o post que eu tô criando agora.
We hope to bring Finder to as many blind people as possible.
Venham.
We had an idea. We're going to make sure that it reaches to the people who needs it. The Imagine Cup is a grand stage for us to accomplish
Aí, como eu vou colocar uma fotozinha só pra
this.
Dream it.
Build it.
Live it!
Tá renderizando um vídeo pesadíssimo que também da faculdade tá pesando tudo aqui já.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, your Imagine Cup World Championship finalists!
Meia hora ainda pra começar o evento, né? Tava falando só dos vencedores da Copa aqui, dos vencedores.
Awesome! Yeah. Congratulations on making it this far. Now, we'd like you to head backstage and get ready for your presentations. We'll see you in just a couple moments.
Now it's time to meet the people who will decide this year's winner in order to take home that famous trophy and a huge grand prize. Our finalists must impress these highly qualified tech veterans. Let's meet our panel of
Deixa eu fechar aqui. Vê se melhorou minha voz.
esteemed
Minha voz
judges.
tá melhor.
With an empty savings account and no idea
Aí
where
eu vou
she'd be
baixar o
sleeping
da
that night.
live, um pouco do computador. Ó,
Alan Hamilton
melhor.
refused
Aumentei
to
minha
give
voz.
up her dream
Deixa eu
of
mudar pra cá.
Closing the startup
Ó, eu
funding
aumentei
gap
minha voz e diminuiu
for
da
people
live.
of color,
Vê se tá melhor.
women and or LGBTQ+. Today,
Foda essa live travando, né? Deixar em 480p mesmo, vai.
her backstage capital fund has invested over $5 million in 100 companies.
Deixar ao
What Team
vivo.
Kylie has in store.
We are Team Kylie from India. Kylie is a smart entry pollution mask integrated with the automated drug nebulizer, specifically designed for respiratory and asthmatic patients.
The thing I love about Team Kylie is they've taken a problem of their community and they found a way to solve it.
Beleza, Paulo, mas agora tá melhor? Porque eu abaixei da live agora. Abaixei da Microsoft.
This is to be able to not only solve it for the individual, but they're taking the data and they're crowdsourcing it. This
Já
is
falou que
such
agora
an
sim,
amazing
beleza.
opportunity to again not only help those
Enquanto isso, deixa eu
individuals,
terminar de
but help that
compartilhar lá
entire
no
community.
Facebook. Windows Team.
Team Kylie, you have 3 minutes to wow our judges. That time begins now.
Vou voltar pra cá, galera, só pra... Vocês querem ver? Querem ver? Assistir? Não, nada muito interessante. Mas se vocês quiserem assistir, vocês avisam. Deixa eu só desencargo de consciência.
Back in India, we have witnessed days when people were confined to their houses just because the air quality was too harmful.
Vê se eles não estão transmitindo lá no outro canal mesmo. Que às vezes ele pode ser que seja só premiação,
And I
né?
have seen my friend
Cara.
coughing blood due to prolonged exposure to air pollution. Now, according to World Health,
Deixa eu fechar aqui. Ó, o evento disso vai começar aqui meia hora. Deixa eu dar um zoom aqui pra vocês verem. Cadê, ó? Dá pra ver aí? Não sei se na transmissão ali. Pera aí. Ele dá zoom, né? Sim. Ó, fala vai começar daqui meia hora. Então, é esperar mesmo, galera. Espera um pouquinho. Enquanto isso, vamos compartilhando. O que vocês esperam da live? Vocês perguntaram pra mim o que eu espero da transmissão. Mas o que vocês esperam? Estão esperando uma coisa? Comentem aí suas expectativas. Enquanto isso, vocês são... Galera, tô fazendo tudo de última hora aqui na live mesmo, porque que nem eu falei, quem chegou agora, eu tive que sair um pouco de manhã, e eu tinha esquecido até que a live era hoje. Aí eu tô fazendo tudo às pressas aqui, vendo se dá tempo. Novo post. Galera que tá compartilhando aí, obrigado, viu? Valeu pelo like aí, valeu por compartilhar. Novo post. Sala de controle. Ela ficou muda? Cadê a galera, pessoal? Cadê vocês? Não me deixe sozinho. Desculpa entrando aqui agora. Sobre o que é hoje o Jolimar. Hoje é o evento da Microsoft, a Build 2019. É um evento onde ela faz anúncios dos seus produtos, as novidades vão vir pro futuro. É muito mais voltado para desenvolvedores. Tipo, é um evento que acontece por 3 ou 4 dias durante o dia todo. Mas que eles passam muita dicas de como desenvolver um programa com uma nova função deles, tal, como otimizar um programa pro Windows 10, essas coisas. Mas é legal que eles no começo de cada dia eles mostram algumas novidades que são um pouco interessantes para o usuário final. Já foi melhores os eventos. Antigamente ele mostrava mais coisas para o usuário final e durante o começo, depois lá para o resto do dia eu falava mais coisas de código. Hoje, os 2 últimos anos não foi tão assim, foi mais técnico mesmo. Mas ainda assim dá para descobrir uma coisinha ou outra. Então é interessante. Assista. Opa, desliga o Caps Lock. Assista aqui o evento Build 2009. O primeiro dia do evento. // Build 2019. Então já seus planos. Confira conosco. Galera, calma que eu tô escrevendo a publicação. Como falei, fazendo tudo de última hora. Vai falar de Windows, do Windows de maio. Cara, provavelmente, Gelimar. É bem provável que sim. Vai começar daqui 15 minutos, 16 minutos, ô Paulo. Enquanto eu estou escrevendo as publicações aqui. Sei que tá um pouquinho chato, mas tive que fazer tudo na correria aqui, tá, galera? Confira conosco a transmissão no link abaixo. Aí, coloca aqui. Atualizou a thumbnail sim. Por que não estava aparecendo antes? Que estranho. Vamos lá. Isso aqui é uma notícia e também há um vídeo. Build 2019, Windows 10, Windows Team, canal Winchester, novidades, Microsoft Windows, Build 2019. Tá bom, né? Agora tá acabando que eu preciso pôr uma foto só. Que vai ser essa mesmo que tá no canal aqui. Definir a imagem. Ok. Ó, galera, vocês estão vendo aí, tô renderizando um vídeo faz 2 horas e 18. Tá em pouco mais, tá em 55%. Falta 1h40 ainda pra acabar isso aqui. E ainda nem é o vídeo final. Vou ter que fazer isso mais umas 3, 4 vezes ainda. Ai, ai. Acontece, né? Publicado, beleza, publiquei. Isso falta no Facebook. Mas o Facebook é mais rapidão. Nossa, verdade, tem que escrever, responder essa mulher aqui. Deixa eu ver, cadê o que? Será que vão falar do novo Edge? Já, muito provavelmente sim. Tipo, eu diria 90% de certeza que vão. Talvez não hoje, porque o evento são 3 dias. São 6, 7, são 3 dias. Mas normalmente é no primeiro e no segundo dia que tem coisas mais interessantes. Então, se não falar hoje, devem falar amanhã. Galera, acabei de publicar lá no Twitter e no... Pera aí, no Twitter é bom... No Facebook é bom pôr do site, né? Mais fácil. Aguentei que o computador tá travando de um jeito que... Pelo amor de Deus, o computador tá torrando. Dá pra fritar um ovo. Caralho, dá pra fritar realmente um ovo aqui em cima. Eu não tô brincando não, doeu. Ai, ai, ai. Renderizar vídeo, fazer live stream, isso aqui não vai dar muito certo. Ainda tem esperança dele sair oficialmente para outras plataformas. Windows 7, 8.8. Se eu não me engano, o Windows 7 vai sair. Eu acho, não tenho certeza. Acabou o manual? Nem começou ainda, cara. Falta 12 minutos pra começar. Fala, Jack, beleza? Jack tá sempre aí, hein? Boa tarde, você verá surpresa nas conferências? Se tiver, vai ser uma surpresa. Que aí ninguém sabe. Mas eu não, sei lá, eu não tô botando tanta fé não. Os dois últimos anos foi meio decepcionante, um pouquinho. Comparado aos que era até 3 anos atrás. Que sempre tinha bastante coisa legal. Os 2 últimos anos foi uma coisinha aqui, outra ali. Mas vamos ver, né? Quem sabe. Tomara. Saudades do solar de madrugada enquanto tu trabalhava. Verdade, Jack. É que tá, ultimamente faculdade tá complicado, tá ligado? O tempo que eu fazer live agora eu tô estudando para as provas, para trabalho, para faculdade e tudo mais. O novo Microsoft Edge é bom e rápido, mas poder estar em português para melhorar feedback nessa fase beta. Ô Paulo, início de desenvolvimento de qualquer software, qualquer sistema profissional, dificilmente está em português. O Windows mesmo, as primeiras versões estavam em inglês. Hoje em dia é tudo em português porque já é pouca coisa que precisa traduzir. Mas você pode ver que às vezes muitos recursos novos que chegam assim, né, um pouco grandes assim no Windows 10, eles vêm em inglês. Então é normal, cara. Primeiro eles fazem o software e como eles são tudo aos Estados Unidos, o que acontece? É muito mais fácil eles fazer o software lá, colocar tudo do idioma em inglês. Aí eles recebem o feedback, aí depois eles corrigem, fazem alterações e tudo mais. Quando tiver tudo quase liso, quase perto do que vai ser o projeto final, aí eles traduzem, porque senão vai ser trabalho dobrado. Imagina você traduzir o browser inteiro e, sei lá, você ter que... deu alguma coisa errado lá que eles não sabiam, que receberam feedback de uma coisa que deu muito errado, e aí eles vão ter que tirar, sei lá, quase metade do código, fazer de novo, e eles vão ter que retraduzir aquilo lá tudo de novo, é um pouco complicado. Então por isso eles deixam só em inglês, que é mais fácil para eles. E aí depois quando eles veem que tá tudo encaminhando certo numa direção ok, aí eles traduzem para português. Não quer dizer que se eles traduzirem para português vai ser aquilo lá mesmo, a coisa final, o que chegou lá vai chegar no produto final, pode ser cancelado, pode ser acontecer. Mas é um pouco mais difícil isso acontecer. Então, começo de desenvolvimento é inglês, cara. E outra, tipo, é só o navegador, não tem muita opção lá que precise de uma tradução, entendeu? Tipo, é muito intuitivo as coisas lá, então é mais tranquilo. Aqui, copiar endereço do link. Uma coisa que eu queria ver nesse evento, tem duas coisas que eu quero muito ver. A que eu mais quero realmente, que eu não tô botando fé que vai aparecer, mas se aparecer eu vou ficar muito feliz, mais se ele der previsão que vai aparecer, é a área de transferência entre o celular e o PC, que eles já anunciaram isso faz tempo e não nada até hoje. Acho que ano passado ele deve ter mostrado um pouquinho mais, assim, mas nem deu muita bola. Foi no ano retrasado, eu acho que eles anunciaram oficialmente que ia ter isso aí, até hoje nada. Um pouco complicado isso, que é um negócio que faz muita falta pra mim. E a segunda coisa que eu queria ver, que essa talvez apareça os novos ícones do Windows 10, que saiu uma notícia esses dias aí, que... Não sei se você sabe, o Office ele já recebeu novos ícones. Então, deixa eu tentar mostrar pra vocês aqui. Deixa eu ver se eu consigo mostrar aqui um pouco. Ó, deixa eu aumentar aqui para ver se vai. Deixa eu só colocar aqui. Só pôr para a janela aqui, galera, só para eu enxergar direito que eu estou mostrando para vocês. Olha só, tá vendo? Deixa eu dar um zoom maior aqui. Ó, os ícones do Office mudaram e ficaram bem legais. E saiu uma notícia esses dias que a Microsoft vai mudar do resto do sistema também. Eu não sei se só vai mudar dos aplicativos do sistema, tipo do Fotos, do clima, de configurações, aplicativos nativos, Groove ninguém usa mais, né? Para acabar de sair daqui a pouco, será o gravador de voz, esses aplicativos nativos que eles vão receber novos ícones, ou se todo o sistema operacional vai receber novos ícones, como por exemplo aqui deixa eu abrir aqui uma janelinha. Por exemplo, os ícones aqui de pasta, de meu computador, essas coisas. Isso aqui eu queria que mudasse os ícones. Esses ícones aqui estão muito velhos já deu, né? Já cansou. Não dá mais para usar esses ícones. Eu queria muito que eles fossem alterados, só que eu não acho que eles vão alterar tão já. Acho que aqui ainda vai demorar bastante para alterar. Mas os aplicativos eles anunciaram que realmente vão... Os aplicativos é bem provável que sim vai alterar os ícones. Então vamos torcer. Essas são as duas coisas que eu queria mais ver. De resto, acho que nada. Abos do Explorer. O novo Explorer eu queria muito ver também, uma nova interface. Mas não estou botando tanta fé. Mas tomara. Espero que seja uma grande surpresa se acontecer. Mas de resto, só isso. Que PC você está usando? Já que eu comprei recentemente um Acer Predator. Um Helio 300. É um notebook gamer. Pera aí que tá passando um ônibus com um caminhão. Não sei se estão ouvindo. Então, comprei um computador novo. É um Predator Helio 300. E a máquina é poderosa, cara. É que tá travando um pouquinho, porque eu tô fazendo uma renderização de um vídeo aqui extremamente pesado pro trabalho da faculdade. Então... dando umas travadinhas mesmo, mas acontece. Até deixar ele aqui embaixo só pra eu ficar de olho. Mas é uma ótima máquina, cara. Depois você joga na internet pra você ver. Resumo o dia aí. Matheus, então, eu acordei, tomei café, cuidei de minha irmã que tá um pouquinho doente, levei o carro pra lavar, voltei e estamos esperando a live começar. É isso que dá pra resumir agora, porque a live não começou ainda, cara. Tipo, a live da Microsoft faltam uns 6 minutos, exatamente agora, cravado 6 minutos pra começar, de acordo com o site com o evento do Facebook aqui. Mas eu esperar um pouquinho. Fica na live que já vai começar e a gente... aí você confere, assiste tudo que está acontecendo aqui. Olá, mais um ano de acompanhamento. Tá meio sumido, hein? Cyber, eu tô na faculdade agora, cara. Então tá meio complicado mesmo, velho. Tá difícil. Tô fazendo vídeo só quando for algo bem relevante mesmo. Aí eu trago vídeo pra vocês. Se não, tipo, essas atualizações constantes de build que só traz correções, assim, ou uma melhoria bem insignificante, eu nem tô podendo trazer. Por questão de tempo mesmo. Tem um vídeo falando aí do Windows 11 pela interface bem bonito, se fosse verdade isso Windows 11. O Windows 11 é tudo conceito, tudo... se colocar o Windows 15 no YouTube, você vai achar, cara, vídeos sobre eles. São visuais bem atraentes mesmo, mas tipo, fora da realidade, tá ligado? Não confio não. O Windows 10 acabou, é o Windows 10 eterno. Tipo, daqui a pouco nem vou chamar de Windows 10, só Windows, tá? Então, é isso aí. Aí você Windows 10, atualização de abril, atualização de maio, atualização Windows 10, maio de 2019. Você só isso aí. Igual a Apple faz com o macOS dela, tipo, não muda muita coisa, tá ligado? A Microsoft deu uma caída nesses últimos tempos. Deu e não deu, cara. Que assim, tipo, como a atualização tá muito constante, se a gente comparar o que era antigamente, até falei isso no vídeo do que é o Windows Insider, se a gente comparar como era antigamente, como eles mostravam novidades de cada 2, 3 anos, era sempre tipo um enxurrado de novidades assim, de uma vez. Então, tipo, a Microsoft quando anunciava uma coisa, era sempre tipo muita coisa que anunciava, então, tipo, dava uma impressão que era muito maior, sempre das inovação. Agora, como ela anuncia novidades cada 3, 4, 5 meses, parece que são novidades pequenas, mas tipo, se você for ver, o acúmulo de novidades é bem grande. Então, elas por elas. Deu uma caída? Acho que é mais impressão do que realidade, tá? Mas é um negócio para se analisar com calma pra saber. Vamos lá, faltam 3 minutinhos. Enquanto isso, eu ainda não compartilhei lá no Facebook. Deixa eu compartilhar aqui. Opa. Pera aí. Buscando prévia, coloquei o link, deixa eu só carregar a thumbnail. Enquanto isso, joga no Twitter também. Beleza, galera, lá no Twitter e no Facebook eu compartilhei o link da live. Quem puder dar um like lá em compartilhar ou um retweet lá, agradeço bastante. No site lá tá tudo certo também. Tá tudo certo aqui no site, né? Ó, vamos dar uma lida aqui no site, na matéria do Steam, enquanto a live não começa. Tá falando um pouco do que pode ser que aconteça hoje durante a live. Se a minha internet cooperar. Galera, a live tá tranquila ainda, né? A transmissão tá boa. Assim que bom, boa sorte aí, sucesso nas expectativas. Saíram um detalhe do xCloud. Cara, xCloud vai ser só na E3, tá? Hoje em dia, que lá que é o lugar para isso. Build não é legal para isso. Como é mais para desenvolvedor mesmo, vai ser uma coisa mais sistema mesmo, operacional. Fala um pouco das pessoas que estão instalando Windows 10 em Lumia 950. Não tenho opinião formada, cara. Tipo, eu vi as notícias, mas tipo, vai fazer o que com isso? Eu não vejo muita utilidade hoje em dia. Já saiu a nova atualização? Matheus, não tem data ainda, mas sai esse mês. Previsão pelo menos é para esse mês. Ah, bem, galera, deixa eu ver se carrega essa página aqui. Ó, de acordo com o evento, era para estar começando agora. Vamos dar esperar um pouquinho para ver o que acontece. Esperando o Microsoft Developer, tá esperando os caras liberar o sinal da transmissão lá. Legal, o site do Steam caiu bem agora. Bacana. Só porque eu li a notícia lá. Como usar no passado de Windows, na minha visão, o melhor foi o Windows 2000 profissional em estabilidade. Saudades do IBM Warp 4. Será lançado o Windows 11 ano que vem? Novelo? Não. Windows 10 é o último Windows. Se quiser mais detalhes, tem um vídeo chamado O que é o Windows Insider, que eu expliquei certinho o porquê sobre isso, beleza? Bolado sobre o Windows 11, verdade? Não é verdade. Tudo mentira. Tudo caça-clique. Clickbait. Deixa eu dar um F5 aqui, galera. Fechar umas abas que não precisa. Deixa eu ver aquela no celular aqui se ele tá rodando uma coisa. Vai que seja o meu PC, né? Que tá rodando sobre Margin Cup ainda, tá? Naquele outro link lá. Vou por aqui que tá meio enrolado o computador. São só videozinho das coisas deles. Que tá rodando sobre Margin Cup ainda. Aparentemente ela tá bem tranquila, né, galera? Pelo que eu vi aqui. Coisa dá um feedback aí, tá bom? Se cai a qualidade e tal. Temos 21 pessoas online, recorde histórico nesse canal. Muito obrigado, deixem seu like, compartilhem. Caiu para 16, agora normalizou o que é normal do canal. Mas tudo bem. Ó o Microsoft. Ó o Microsoft. Tá na hora já. Avengers Endgame. Vamos, Microsoft. Galera, não sou eu, tá? Eu cheguei meia hora antes de começar o evento. Fiz tudo à pressa? Fiz. Mas eu sou sozinho, a Microsoft tem uma equipe lá e tá atrasado. Amo Microsoft. Hello, os comments, deixa os comentários, tem alguém falando alguma coisa? Hello, hey guys, what's up? What's wrong? Aí a galera tá perguntando o que tá de errado também. Não é só aqui, ó. Lá os caras lá fora estão perguntando o que tá de errado, o que tá acontecendo. Porque lá não começou também. Tá assim, tá boa? Valeu, Cyber. Galera, é isso aí. 3 minutos de atraso, era pra começar meio-dia e meio. Deixa eu fechar umas abas aqui que não vai precisar. Só pra liberar um pouquinho essa memória. Conexão excelente. Para estabilizar a conexão. Não, diminuiu. Só porque eu falei. E aí? Vai começar mesmo? 518 pessoas esperando. O que está acontecendo? O que está acontecendo aqui? Galera, não é só aqui não, tá? Relaxa que o problema é lá mesmo. Ela tá nos comentários, estão perguntando. Galera, caso alguém tenha dúvida, eu não vou traduzir toda a live, tá bom? Vou só traduzir pontos relevantes que eu entender, porque eu não sou fluente, mas eu entendo bem inglês. E mais pra gente discutir mesmo ao vivo aqui o que for anunciado, tá? Não é tradução não, se quiser tradução deve ter outros canais aí, pra onde vai ter legenda em inglês, muito provavelmente. Apesar que eles estão fazendo live no YouTube, né? Nunca fizeram live no YouTube, normalmente é uma plataforma própria deles. Será que tem outro site? Vamos ver. Dê uma olhada aí se vocês acham outro site que esteja rolando transmissão. Normalmente o Windows Central fala, deixa eu dar uma olhada lá. Assista o primeiro dia da Keynote na Microsoft aqui. Mas eles estão dando o link para o YouTube, certo? Aparentemente vai ser apenas no YouTube mesmo. Vou dar uma piscada aqui, aconteceu uma coisa? Não. 6 minutos atrasado, cara. Mixer talvez? Mixer talvez. Deixa eu dar uma olhada no Mixer. Cara, o que tá sendo esperado pro evento pra ti? Adonai, eu falei já, mas tipo, não tô esperando muita coisa, só resumindo, tá? Não tô esperando muita coisa, mas o que eu queria mesmo é uma notícia relevante, oficial, uma data de lançamento do recurso de transferência do recurso de área de transferência compartilhada entre PC e mobile. É um negócio que eu quero muito. Queria muito também um novo Explorer, nova interface, mas eu duvido que isso aconteça. E o que eu acho mais fácil de acontecer, mesmo eu não tendo muita certeza, é mostrar os novos ícones que a Microsoft nos falou esses dias aí que iria trocar do sistema inteiro. Não sabe se o sistema inteiro está dizendo realmente o sistema ou o Windows inteiro, ou só os aplicativos nativos, tipo fotos, tipo notícias, tipo a loja, essas coisas. Mas espero que seja do Windows inteiro mesmo. Trocar os ícones das pastas, o meu computador, de tudo, tá ligado? Tá na hora já. Das coisas que eu espero é isso. Aí vamos ver se acontece uma coisa mais, uma coisa menos. Não boto muita fé que vai ter muita coisa surpreendente. Mas vamos esperar, né? Se tiver aí, realmente vai ser uma surpresa. No calendário estava rolando a live. Sim, cara, mas tá rolando uma live meio de bastidores lá. Tipo, é outra coisa, né? Do evento em si. Ó, quer ver? Ó? Vou mostrar aqui na webcam só. Porque tá mais estável. Ó, tá rolando aqui, ó. A galera entrando. Tem um link aqui que é pro mesmo evento que tá aberto aqui. Então vai ser isso aqui mesmo, galera. Aqui é só a galera entrando mesmo. Quer ver que agora tá no panorama geral. Mas até agora, por na hora que eu abri, tava mostrando uma câmera no chão. Vai no mixer, tá? Entendi. Então. Deixa eu. Só que não estão transmitindo no mixer. Deixa eu abrir no navegador aqui embaixo mesmo. Mixer. Deixa eu abrir 2019. Mixer. Microsoft. Mixer. Olha só, galera, tá mostrando nada, mostrando só palco lá, essas coisas, nada demais, tá ligado? Então, realmente, por enquanto, vamos manter aqui mesmo nesse canal. Se eu ver aqui no celular que eles alteraram, de que alguma coisa relevante está acontecendo ali, aí a gente troca. Enquanto isso, estou entrando no mixer aqui, tá? Deixa eu só mostrar para vocês aqui, ó, só para ver se eu acho algum evento aqui. Mas aparentemente não, viu? Se você achou um link da Mixer no buscar canais, Microsoft. Se você achou algum evento, uma transmissão rolando na Mixer. Ah, aqui, achei. Vamos ver. Galera, deixa eu mostrar aqui. Não tava na webcam, né? Ó, a Mixer tá rodando isso aqui, que é a mesma coisa que tá rodando no meu celular. Então, por enquanto, vamos deixar os dois abertos aí. A Mixer tá rodando bem melhor do que eu tava no YouTube. O YouTube é uma porcaria, né, galera? Essa plataforma, pelo amor de Deus. Tinha que acabar logo isso. Deixa eu descer aqui. E só diminuir o volume. E ver o que vocês estão comentando. Show, cara. Obrigado pela resposta. De nada daí. Fica acompanhando a live aí que nós vamos ter... Esperamos ter grandes anúncios aí. Ou não, né? Falei que não ia ter, mas quem sabe. Aí a gente dá uma discutida aqui. Tô testando o novo Microsoft Edge, parece bem bom. Sim, cara, testei um pouquinho também, parece bem bom também. É que eu me apeguei muito ao Opera, galera. Tô usando o Opera aqui. Calma, vocês estão vendo minha tela aí? Não lembro, então. Me apeguei muito ao Opera. E eu não pretendo sair mais dele, galera. Até ia fazer um vídeo sobre ele, mas como falei, faculdade tá foda, tá ligado? Então tá meio complicado. Mas o Opera é bem bom. Gosto muito dele que tem uma barra específica pro WhatsApp aqui, galera. Então, tipo, deixar o WhatsApp aberto aqui, tipo, o tempo todo se quiser, e Facebook do lado, tá ligado? Deixa eu ver se ele carrega aqui pra... sei lá. Isso aí, ó. Dá pra deixar o WhatsApp aberto de um lado e coisa do outro, tá ligado? Dá pra você deixar, por exemplo, o YouTube fixado aqui no cantinho enquanto você usa o Facebook, por exemplo. Você pode assistir YouTube aqui no cantinho. Essa janela é pequena, mas pode aumentar se quiser. Você pode deixar lá maior, tal, tipo... Na verdade tem bastante coisa, porque eu tô com praticamente 3 sites abertos ao mesmo tempo, tá ligado? WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube e qualquer outro site aqui na tela principal. Então é bem legal esse navegador, tô gostando bastante dele. Opa, escutei, ó. Escutei alguma coisa. Não, acho que foi só retorno mesmo. Tem um site oficial para vídeo mostrando todas as lives que vão começar. Ah, mas ainda assim é a mesma coisa. Aqui no Mixer parece que tá rodando bem. Se for transmitir pela Mixer, a gente assiste por ele. Vai ser melhor. Tá abrindo uma nova janela aqui já, tá mais fácil. Não pode elogiar, né, cara? É impressionante. Só elogiar deu uma travada aqui. Deixar assim. Aí o que rolar primeiro a gente fecha outra. Agora almoçando e acompanhando. Boa tarde. Boa tarde, Michele. Vai, Michele, tá bom? Michele é das antigas também. Pretende usar o Vivaldi? Cara, não... Desculpa, mas não faço a menor ideia do que você esteja falando. Deixa eu jogar no Google aqui pra ver. Ó, joguei no Google, apareceu só um compositor dos anos do século XV. Chamado Vivaldi. O que é Vivaldi, cara? Desculpa, eu tô meio por fora. Eu acho. Aqui no navegador, eu vi que saiu um navegador meio baseado no Chrome esses dias também. Que saiu notícia com sites. Se for ele, não pretendo usar não, cara. Opera novo é bom demais. Sim, cara, o Opera tá... O Opera sempre foi muito bom, mas tipo, ele tinha umas coisinhas, outra meio chatinha. Lembro que a última vez que eu parei de usar ele foi porque ele não tinha sincronia de favoritos, essas coisas. Mas eles adicionaram fazia um bom tempo já, que eu tinha visto a notícia. Aí como o meu wide Microsoft Edge começou a dar problema, há cerca de alguns meses atrás, aí eu resolvi dar uma chance pro Opera e tô nele até hoje. Deve começar 1h. Vamos ver, né, cara. Tá marcado meio-dia e meio. Aqui, ó. Que vocês não estão vendo, provavelmente que tá pequeno, mas tá aqui, ó. Esperando Microsoft Developer 6 de maio de 2019, meio-dia e meio. Então, era pra começar meio-dia e meio. Navegador Vivaldi. É um navegador baseado no Chrome. Vivaldi é o fork do Opera. Cara, realmente eu não tenho certeza de eu colocar aqui. Mas eu não gosto muito de navegadores assim, pouco... com uma baixa base de usuários, tá ligado? Não que o Opera tenha muito, mas... ainda assim... Ah, tá. Pelo ícone eu lembrei já. Ah lá, começou, hein? Começou... vou fechar aqui do YouTube que não vai rolar mesmo.
The Apollo 11 moon landing was cutting-edge technology of the 1960s. And today, with the help of my friend, fellow Apollo aficionado, and author of A Man on
Dá
the
feedback
Moon,
do áudio, tá bom?
Hi everybody.
We're going to recreate the mission using some 21st century technology, using the power of Unreal Engine and HoloLens 2. Andrew?
Thank you, John. Well, the Apollo 11 moon landing happened 50 years ago on July 20th, 1969. And like you, I've been waiting for that for a long time. And what made it possible
já falo sobre isso. Olha lá os HoloLens, vamos lá. A apresentação HoloLens sempre bem surpreendente, né? Opa!
Well, it seems that doing a live demo is actually harder than landing on the moon.
Indeed.
Thank you for your time.
Ih, começou errado já, hein? Começou dando errado já. Era pra ter aparecido uns hologramas ali, uma coisa, não aconteceu, pedi desculpa. Ah, agora sim. Tô ansioso por ver as novidades da versão 19.03. Falando nisso, galera, aproveitando que tá só na abertura. Inclusive, falando em abertura, deixa eu diminuir, porque eu já tomei strike do YouTube por causa das musiquinhas que a Microsoft coloca. Deixa eu diminuir. Quando tiver música, galera, vou ter que diminuir, tá bom? Mas falando em 19.03, novidades, eu tava pra gravar esses dias o vídeo da resumo das novidades, só que o Windows Sandbox não tá funcionando no meu computador. E é a principal novidade da atualização. Então não dá pra fazer uma live, um vídeo, sem mostrar o principal recurso da atualização. Então, né, tem que esperar corrigir, aí eu gravo o vídeo pra vocês, beleza? Olha lá, vai começar, hein? Sai de dela! Bom dia e bem-vindos a Build 2019. Galera, o áudio tá ok? Avisa pra mim qualquer coisa, tá?
At our very first developer conference, and that's when I decided to join Microsoft. And ever since, I've marked the passage of time and life in tech paradigms. And so it's great to be back here at Build and talking about technology. I want to first start by welcoming all the young developers in attendance. In fact, for the first time, we have children of Build attendees. Here we have our student ambassadors.
Salve para Portugal, GTX Benchmark. Valeu, galera de português tá acompanhando. Ok, obrigado. Beleza. Build é sobre imaginar possibilidades.
Over the next couple of days, you're going to be looking and seeing a lot of technology. But the real thing is, how do we galvanize and come together as engineers, as developers, to make that world possible? And when I think about the world today, as computing is getting embedded in the world, where every place,
nos próximos dias vocês verão tecnologias que vão ajudar você a tornar as coisas possíveis e vão mostrar como tornar as coisas possíveis. Legenda não tem, né, galera? Não tem. Se alguém perguntando, não vai ter legenda dessa vez.
From connected cars to connected refrigerators to smart surgical tools to smart coffee machines are all being driven by.
Tá baixo o áudio da live, galera?
That's the opportunity in front of us. The opportunity for developers and our colleagues from all other disciplines to come together to build this new world. And that's the sense of purpose, mission that grounds us at Microsoft. To empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. It starts by empowering all of you as developers to go after that moonshot in any industry, in any sphere of life or society. Now, we'll talk a lot about this opportunity throughout this keynote and throughout this conference. But we also share a deep responsibility together. It starts with us as platform providers but we have a collective responsibility. A few years ago, when we
Beleza,
started
melhorou?
talking about it felt a bit prosaic to talk about responsibility in tech conferences where it's all about the glitz of technology. But it's no longer the case. To us, really thinking about the trust in everything that we build, in the technology we build, is so core. And as engineers, we need to truly incorporate this in the core design process, in the tooling around how we build things. So when we think about privacy and the fact that privacy is a human right, is as much of an engineering design principle as an engineering process issue. Same thing with cybersecurity, same thing with AI.
O Lucimar, mixer.com/Microsoft.
Core engineering challenges where we have to push the state of the art around the tooling, the process, and the responsibility we take to what we build.
Mixer.com/Microsoft.
One of the most important things we have to ensure is our critical infrastructure remains secure. I'm really thrilled to announce an open source project which we have collaborated with a partner called Free and Fair. And this is Election Guard. One of the things that we want to ensure is real transparency and verifiability in election systems. And so this is an open source project that will be live on GitHub by end of this month, which will even bring some new technology from Microsoft research around homomorphic encryption. So
depois o próximo entrar deve começar a mostrar mais coisas.
All of the election infrastructure everywhere in the world. And it's fantastic to see this type of innovation really across all of the core areas of trust.
Tá fazendo trabalho, tá vendendo o peixe dele, né? Então, esperar um pouquinho.
About 4 distinct platform opportunities. Throughout this conference, we will really go into the details around these 4 opportunities. The first one is the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge platform that Azure enables. That's the thing that we'll spend a lot of time on today, as well as the rest of the conference. It provides the core hybrid infrastructure, but it also provides the data and AI runtimes for the world's applications. We'll talk about business process automation as a first-class platform for the first time at our developer conference. So important. So we'll talk about Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. We'll talk about Microsoft 365 and how this is the productivity and communications fabric that creates the scaffolding for all developers. We'll talk about gaming. So these are the 4 platforms that I want to sort of really get into in some detail. So let's start with Azure. We're building out Azure as the world's computer. We have 54 data center regions around the world. In fact, we are so thrilled to have be the first public cloud with data center regions in the continent of Africa. We've started operating out of South Africa. It's really, I can't wait to see all of the development that happens around that data center capability. We also have more certifications than any other public cloud out there. We have over 90 compliance certifications. And why is that important? It's because we have to meet the real world needs, regulated industries, data sovereignty needs, operational sovereignty needs. You need to be able to meet
o GTX até final do mês é para sair.
So that it really enables
não tem
all
data
of you
ainda
as
não.
developers to be able to build with less friction. We're also building out Azure as an open platform. Windows and Linux is first class. .NET and Java are first class. SQL and Postgres are first class. We have Kubernetes workloads. We have Red Hat, OpenShift workloads. We have workloads from VMware. We really want to make sure that every layer of the stack, again, meets the needs of developers. We are not stopping there. We're extending the cloud to the edge. This is what we've always had as a vision for distributed computing, which is there's a cloud and an edge, and distributed computing will remain distributed. So Azure to Azure Stack, to Azure Databox Edge, to Azure Connect, HoloLens 2, Azure IoT, Azure Sphere. In fact, in this conference, I'm really thrilled about the Azure Database Edge. It brings the database engine to ARM processors in the edge, has time series support, streaming support, you can bring AI compute to the edge. It's so great to see this distributed fabric come alive to help developers build the applications of the future. Now, the thing, when you talk about hybrid, what is important is to think about the consistency between the cloud and the edge when it comes to the operating models. That is, the management and security. The development environment, how does the DevOps pipeline work across the two? And as importantly, the technology stacks. And this is where you can make simplistic assumptions of having some homogeneous infrastructure on the two sides. You have to meet the real world needs. So that's what we've been hard at work in Microsoft. When we talk about hybrid, it's doing the hard work to bring this level of consistency between the cloud and the edge so that developers can move the code that they have today and build a new code on top of this platform. Now, in fact, right after my keynote, you're going to hear from Scott, where he's going to talk in much more detail about all of the features, functionality coming to Azure. In fact, there are 25 major updates and new features right at this conference. So really thrilling to see the progress being made. And all this is leading to amazing momentum in Azure. The world's brands are building on Azure. 95% of the Fortune 500 already use Azure. And it's great to see, from retail to healthcare to manufacturing to automotive. So I thought I'll just share some of the ambition. One of the things that really excites me is right now, as we speak, there are more software developers being hired outside of what is considered the tech industry, and it's only going to grow. That's the proliferation of what is the power of software going forward, and you see that ambition. So I want to tell you a little bit about these stories. First is Walgreens Boots.
Que é esse Azure? Azure é o sistema de nuvem deles, da plataforma cloud da Microsoft. São servidores espalhados pelo mundo que eles usam para criar serviços em nuvem.
How the retail experience works, and Cooler Screens is using the latest and greatest AI from Azure to change the retail experience.
Quando digo nuvem, não é só o OneDrive, tá, galera? É qualquer coisa que precise de processamento na nuvem.
InBev, largest beer manufacturer, they have this very nice phrase, which is from barley to bars, where they're completely revolutionizing how they think about the supply chain and the yield for barley, to tracking everything using IoT, to also then using cognitive services to track social media. So it's
Radiant, acabou o evento, começou agora pouco mais de 5 minutos, então tá agora nada.
And DNA Nexus is the ISV working with St. Jude's Hospital
Sobre
to really go after this fight against childhood cancer, which is an underserved research area.
Sobre o novo Edge, ser novo ir pra frente e tal, ser concorrente forte. O problema é o ícone, cara. O ícone dele ainda vai afastar muita gente.
JP Morgan Chase has chosen to use the Azure blockchain service to bring the Quorum, which is a variant of Ethereum, to market alongside us. So it's fantastic to see the innovation of new software products and projects coming from the financial services incumbents as well. AT&T is rolling out 5G, and they chose Azure Stack for their compute at the edge. And they're working with ISVs such as Whirlpool, which is a drone safety tracker. So the idea that you need low latency edge compute in order to be able to really make sure that the airspace with drones is safe is such a critical need. So therefore, that's kind of a sample application of what is possible as 5G rolls out, and then you have this ubiquitous cloud and edge. Now, I want to bring us home.
Então, só que você precisa do 5G. 5G no Brasil, 5 a 10 anos para se tornar relevante.
Starbucks is, of course, defined what our morning coffee experience is. And at this point, one of the things that's so exciting to see is the software engineers at Starbucks, their ambition, their collaboration with their colleagues in the business side and product managers and marketing, they're coming together to completely take what is that iconic experience of Starbucks and incorporate digital throughout. Everything from what they're doing with blockchain and sustainability, IoT and the coffee machines, as well as AI. And to really give you a glimpse of this, let me throw to the show floor to our team to show you what the Starbucks engineers are dreaming up and making real.
Today we're going to show you 3 things Starbucks are doing to better connect with their customers and enable their personnel. Firstly, create more intelligent customer experiences with an internal AI platform called Deep Brew. Secondly, securely connecting their coffee equipment to Azure with Azure Sphere. And finally, providing transparency into how the cup of coffee you drank this morning made its way from the farm to your local Starbucks. Starbucks have created a sophisticated intelligent recommendation system based on reinforcement learning models that they call Deep Brew. Starbucks can use Deep Brew insights in many areas of their business, including this new, more intelligently responsive drive-thru, which is an early pilot. Here, you can see 4 recommended choices for a Starbucks in Santa Monica. These aren't 4 fixed products for every Starbucks. Rather, they're selected by Deep Brew after weighing many factors. What is popular at this specific store, at this time of day, time of year, what's currently available in the store, even current weather conditions, and more. After I asked the drive-thru attendant for the cloud macchiato, the display shows me additional recommendations that Deep Brew knows are popular with those who have made the same choice as me under similar conditions. Not all Starbucks local markets are the same. Let me show you what you might see on the same day in Alaska. Notice that the choices are different, reflecting the unique local preferences for this store, and the recommendations, if I choose the sous vide egg bites, will be tailored as well. The refresher that's showing up on the display looks actually pretty tempting to me. The Starbucks award-winning mobile app leverages these Deep Brew insights, as well as my own personal order history, to make even more personal recommendations. Deep Brew is a new platform for Starbucks to innovate and experiment with rapidly scalable and cutting-edge machine learning. And it allows Starbucks to better meet the preferences of their diverse and worldwide customer base and empower their personnel. Starbucks digital
só para avisar, é muito provável que seja mais um ensinível a conferência hoje, tá? Amanhã talvez esteja mais legal ou talvez esteja mais chato. É evento para desenvolvedores, galera. Tem que lembrar disso. Então é coisa para desenvolvedor. A gente sempre consegue pescar uma coisinha ou outra aqui.
As you can see, this Azure IoT Central Dashboard shows data from the local Starbucks stores.
Ótimo, umas horas assim são legais. Às vezes, prestar atenção na interface, pode instalar um ícone novo aqui, uma coisa que no Windows não é normal, tá? Então nessas horas das horas costumam surgir as coisas mais legais. Quando mostra a tela de computadores.
Connecting the Mastrena 2 to Azure IoT Central also allows Starbucks to run predictive maintenance models to more efficiently operate their machines. This device telemetry and predictive maintenance allows Starbucks to remotely diagnose potential problems, reduce maintenance costs, and most importantly, achieve higher customer satisfaction by freeing up time to allow their partners to connect with their customers. While Starbucks could use Azure with any IoT device to connect their equipment, they chose Azure Sphere, Microsoft's end-to-end solution for securely connected devices, which comprises of an MCU embedded with Microsoft Secure Architecture, a Linux-based custom OS, and cloud security service, specifically because their coffee equipment is so vital to their business. Starbucks can embed the Azure Sphere custom microcontroller into new equipment, but vitally, they can also retrofit Azure Sphere into existing machines by plugging this external module into the device.
Então, eu voltei,
No
estão
need to
falando dos
replace
Asus, sim,
valuable
já.
existing equipment.
Vamos falar por bom tempo ainda.
Multiple times a year, Starbucks introduces new seasonal coffee. This requires updates on the
Cara, eu achava isso por enquanto inteligente. Por enquanto inteligente. Ah, cara, falei.
This would have required
Não dá pra esperar muita
tens
coisa
of
no
thousands
começo.
of USB sticks to be delivered to stores. Now the recipes can be delivered securely over the air from cloud to the Azure Sphere-enabled device at the click of a button, which you can see in the Azure IoT Central pilot, accelerating Starbucks' innovation process from months to
verdade,
days,
mano, tô usando
and
o
making
Edge,
a
velho.
pathway for new innovation.
E é o Edge clássico, não é o novo, não.
Starbucks' digital transformation is expanding beyond their Seattle offices and coffee shops to its vast supply chain, which starts at over 380,000 farms in nearly 30 countries. Starbucks recently previewed at its annual shareholders meeting a new digital transparency feature for customers. With this feature, I can use my phone to scan a code on this bag of coffee to see an immutable record of the coffee's history stored on Azure blockchain service. With this, customers can see, let me just get this up. Yep. So with this, you can see that we can see where the coffee beans were grown. Starbucks support efforts from farmers in those regions, when and where the beans were roasted, tasting notes, and more. Starbucks' ambition is to use this technology to provide greater empowerment for coffee farmers as coffee drinkers better understand where the coffee comes from and who grows it. With Azure Blockchain Service, data can be real-time and transparent.
As you've seen, so much of Starbucks' business is being transformed by digital technology. And at
fazer.
Microsoft,
Caraca,
we're
mano,
excited
tava
to
dando
see
essa
where we can
mensagem,
go
você apagou,
next
mano.
together. Back to you, Satya.
Thank you so much, Anita and Olivia. It's fantastic. You know, we in the tech industry have always been inspired by coffee for our brands, but I must say Deep Brew, I think, is going to really have more of an impact in our lives every morning, and I'm looking forward to it. And now I want to switch to talking about AI, because one of the key things that Azure has also been very focused on is how do we truly democratize access to AI. The breakthroughs are coming at amazing speed. In fact, just even this year, Microsoft achieved human parity in conversational Q&A. But it's not just these breakthroughs. How do we translate these breakthroughs into services and infrastructure and frameworks and tools for developers? And that's really what we're really focused on. In terms of infrastructure, we have some very exciting announcements around inference capabilities with FPGA that are going to be available as GA. We're also making sure that we don't get locked into some insidious vertical integration. So Onyx support around inference, but it's both with Intel and NVIDIA, is so important, because we don't want that play of having frameworks to silicon we get to some vertical integration that just creates lock-in. So we really want to make sure that this infrastructure remains open and open standards. We're also investing to make sure that the tooling is making developers around AI and ML more productive.
Questão de mobile, eu acho que o Microsoft deveria apelar pouco mais para o seu launcher no Android, pelo menos venderia o peixe, não apelar para o uso da maçã. É verdade, cara. Eu uso, inclusive. Não sei se vão conseguir ver.
So it's fantastic to bring that same rigor of development and engineering and deployment to a machine learning practices.
Eu uso o launcher delas. É bem bom, gosto bastante.
We continue to take the breakthroughs that we have across all of the various cognitive services.
E realmente acho que deveria investir mais na divulgação do launcher deles.
Vision, speech, language, translation, and a new service around decision. This is about reinforcement learning brought to anomaly detection and personalization, and it's really exciting to see this. We have many of these cognitive services, and the pattern of these cognitive services is to have them available in the cloud. You can customize them, especially the last layers. You can even put them in containers, take it to the edge devices, and of course use the rich ML tool chain around it. So that capability is what's driving our productivity. Now, one service I wanted to showcase today is the Azure Speech Service. Not only is the speech service getting better and better when it comes to speech recognition. In fact, what you'll see in this demo is even for commodity hardware to replace any complex microarray setup so that your speech recognition is world-class. But the most interesting thing is when you combine speech recognition with language models that are specific to your organizational data, you can start picking up all the jargon. So imagine a transcript that gets created that has the ability to understand the local jargon that's specific to your organization, your industry, that way making the transcript that much more useful. So let's throw it to our team out on the gallery to show you speech translation and transcription.
Faço tradução, é isso? Tradução de fala e transcrição.
The prototype device connected to a cloud service that provided live transcription and translation. We are proud to announce today that we're making the conversation transcription capability within Azure Speech Services available as a preview release. Come on, let me show you.
Cortando é totalmente relevante para mim, não uso para nada. Realmente parei de usar. Eu usava para música.
Hardware from last year, which we're also making available as a developer device.
Pode ser legal.
But today, my colleagues and I are going to give you a demo of new research that we believe will make meeting transcriptions more easily available to everyone in the future.
We are going to show you this demo using just the microphones built into this laptop and these two smartphones we have in front of us. With these, we create a microphone array in the cloud that enables Azure Speech Services to provide accurate, in-person meeting transcription, even without a special meeting device.
Also, you will notice that I didn't bring my phone. But the service can still recognize my voice and correctly identify me, because I've given it permission to use my voice print to transcribe what I say.
Só os dois smartphones e o computador para criar
is that the language model of Azure Speech Service can be trained on the data in your company's Microsoft 365 tenant.
Tudo que eles
so you can
falam
learn the unique vocabulary of your industry or company. This is available in private preview.
E já identifica com a voz dele.
So basically, for the next 2 minutes, we're going to have a rap battle of sorts, but for all of us geeks here in the room. So Heiko is a principal PM on the speech team, and he's going to give us an example of some dev speak. And Yusuf is in healthcare marketing, and he's going to dazzle us with a little bit of healthcare tech jargon. So while they speak, I encourage you to follow along with the transcript on the screen so you can see just how powerful this service is. Heiko, take us away.
Azure Speech Services are built with VMs running on Azure hypervisors using Ubuntu-based Docker containers that are orchestrated with the Azure Kubernetes service. Azure Speech Services enable a variety of technical capabilities, including ASR, Neural TTS, Microsoft Translator, and related custom services. You can access these using your favorite programming language, such as Java, JavaScript, Node.js, C++, or C#, and others.
The bar has been set. Okay, now it's your turn to give us a bit of this healthcare jargon.
Microsoft Teams can provide EHR integration through ISV vendors, including Infor Cloverleaf, Redox, and others via the HL7 Fire standard. HL7 Fire is HIPAA, Mars-E, and GDPR compliant, and is based on modern technology, including HTTPS and RESTful protocols, as well as extensible APIs. The Fire open source community makes their source available on GitHub, and the Microsoft Teams Fire implementation is also aligned with Project Argonaut and follows the US core profiles for all the Fire resources it consumes.
Well, that was fun. I'm going to call that.
É que é estranho, eles não estão usando. Normalmente eles transmitem no site deles.
So while we're going a bit overboard there, we understand that this is incredibly important.
Eles transmitem no site deles e eles têm controle sobre isso. Hoje está só no Mixer no YouTube.
We're really excited about where this work will take us, and our future ambition is to enable conversation transcriptions for anyone, anywhere, at any time. Thank you.
Thank you, Heiko, Sonia, and Yusuf. It's fantastic to see that language models, which are tenant-specific, come to life with speech recognition that's high quality, and I think that's going to be a really game changer. Now, the other service that is
really curioso como isso vai funcionar com gírias e palavras abreviadas. É provável que ele identifique, assim, mas com falhas, né? Gíria é meio complicado.
Or conversational apps are getting created using this framework.
Deve funcionar meio bem, sim. Não deve ser nada muito
falho.
Né?
In this conference, many new features, everything from how to make the multi-turn dialogue much better and more robust.
Deve servir o propósito,
how to take in fact, the Q&A Maker toolkit, which takes any PDF document and turns it into a conversational canvas capability. So lots and lots of new features. The language modeling capabilities itself that are embodied with Lewis inside a bot framework are becoming much richer. Now, the most important thing, though, of the bot framework is the strategic importance for every business out there to build their own conversational canvas. Just like you build websites, just like you build mobile applications, it becomes very important for every business out there to be in control of their own destiny when it comes to this new platform of conversations. The data, that is the conversation, is perhaps one of the most important pieces of data that all of you as developers as well as organizations have. So you want to ensure that the data is helping you, in fact, be in touch with your customers, your employees, and make them richer. And that's what you see. For example, BMW decided that they're going to own the personal assistant experience inside their car. Their brand needed to shine, and they're building, using the bot framework, their personal assistant. Similarly, you have Jet building their customer service agent using the bot framework, because after all, customer service is something that is so key for any business. And the conversations that you have through customer service is one of the most important knowledge repositories you want to have to improve your service and products over time. And Coca-Cola is using it across a variety of functions internally with their employees, from IT to HR to finance.
Cortando em português no Android não chegou até hoje. No Windows Phone tinha, olha lá.
It's really about you building that capability and then using the distribution
Não entendo nada, Paulo. Por enquanto, não tem nada muito relevante. Está falando só sobre o serviço da Azure, o que isso pode beneficiar alguns produtos, mas tipo nada. Para brasileiro, principalmente, nada muito realista, tá ligado?
HoloLens 2 is the quintessential AI device, which also happens to be the edge for Azure. In fact, if you look at the Unreal Engine and how it's implemented with streaming support, it's really amazing to see now how the combination of Azure plus this edge device can really push more polygons than ever before to create completely immersive experiences, right? So it's the cloud plus edge coming together with even amazing work that the Epic Games and the Unreal team have done in that case to be able to enable the next generation of mixed reality experiences. We also have now Azure services such as the Spatial Anchor service, which allow you to build cross-device mixed reality experiences. So mixed reality to us is going to be something that's going to happen across Azure and Azure Edge, across HoloLens 2 and Azure, but also all the other devices and Azure to enable, for example, next generation of training, next generation of architecture design. And that's what you see. PACCAR is using it to change training applications inside the organization, make it much more possible for people to ramp up quickly. Philips is using it for non-invasive surgery. PTC is using it for industrial design. So these are all applications that are getting built using mixed reality. And we are very excited to see what happens at this build and this next coming year in terms of really the exploitation of both Azure as well as HoloLens 2. The new area for us is autonomous systems. Now, the autonomy comes in two forms. One is you watch things move or you enable things to move, and both of these are important. And so the set of services that we're launching are really a combination of simulation tools, because one of the keys for building autonomous systems is your ability to have great simulation capability, as well as we're bringing a new technique around machine teaching. So how do you take domain experts, take them, their expertise, and help teach these machines to be able to calibrate so that you can create autonomy? And those are the two sets of things that we are doing beyond what is available with cognitive services. And you already see these early examples. Toyota Material Handling is a great example where you have these pallets that are autonomous. And what they have done is to use AirSim and our simulation capability to create that autonomy. Shell is using our new machine teaching services as well as reinforcement learning in order to do precision drilling. So how do you take what is a very complex task and really industrialize it by creating this brain out of basically reinforcement learning and machine teaching. Same thing with Schneider Electric. In this case, it's about managing the temperature of rooms by sensing people in space or not. So these are a control system, but now you have an autonomous control system loop, which is really being driven by this machine teaching with reinforcement learning. So we are very excited about the types of apps and the possibilities of what happens with the simulation capabilities as well as machine teaching. Now, that's a quick rundown of Azure, and as I said, Scott's going to talk a lot more this afternoon about it. But I want to move to this next platform area, which is Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Now, business applications, to me, is such an important category, because whenever I go to anywhere in the United States or anywhere in the world, the one thing that I have the real privilege of is to meet with developers, independent software developers who are building business applications. This category is the lifeblood of digital skills and software jobs all over the world. It's just not. It really sort of shines the light that there is a lot of innovation happening beyond the West Coast of the United States and the East Coast of China when you think about the business applications category in particular. And that's why thinking about the productivity and leverage for this community is so important. Dynamics 365 has been completely rewritten to be an Azure cloud-native app. In fact, there will be a lot of sessions at this conference where we're going to talk about how it's been built for microservices, completely ground up, how it's natively built for the Azure database, as well as Cosmos DB. Everything about the architecture of Dynamics 365 itself is an amazing template for all of those who built SQL Server applications in the past and now becoming multi-tenant SaaS applications. It's a unified solution, it's got AI built in, but most importantly is its extensibility framework through Power Platform. One of the hardest challenges for business applications has always been, because there's no such thing as a canonical business process. It always changes by industry, and more importantly, it changes in time, because the businesses are not constant. So how do you deal with the customization? How do you deal with even IP from multiple ISVs in a particular instance? It's that N-way customization with upgradability. And those are some of the things that really Power Platform along with Dynamics 365 solves. Now what that means is there's tremendous amount of traction for Dynamics today. There's 90% of the Fortune 500 are using Dynamics or Power Platform. But the most interesting thing is the number of ISVs who are building on top of both Power Platform and Dynamics all over the world. And now the stack, I think, is the most important thing here, which is you not only have access as developers to the richness of Azure, everything in Azure infrastructure, data, AI, but now you can rely on the common data model, which is a bootstrap for all of the business process automation. To that, you can add your own entities, your own data. On top of that, you have the Power Platform that you can embed inside your own application. That means it's the workflow engine, it's the Power Apps Forms engine, as well as Power BI, which is the analytics engine. So any SaaS application can use the same extensibility framework and then use Dynamics 365's modular architecture as you need. So that's why we see ISVs who build all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom of the stack. And in fact, most ISVs will use the combination of all these layers to be able to build their application. So this is what we see at scale. And in fact, just to give you a couple of examples, ADV is a media buying solution out of Australia. They have built on top of Dynamics and Power Platform. Anata is building a solution for automotive, and this is for fleet management and equipment rental companies inside of the automotive industry. They built on top of Dynamics 365, and they're using, again, Power BI, COG services, and integrating with Dynamics. We also have Indigene, which is a life sciences solution that's built on top of Dynamics 365. And Adobe is incorporating Power BI and the rest of Power Platform as part of their SaaS application. So it shows the combination of techniques being used by ISVs to incorporate business process automation as part of their applications. One of the other things that we're also doing is the Open Data Initiative in combination in partnership with Adobe and SAP. Because one
tem tópico de game ali. Opa, travou aqui.
Your data, it's your organization.
Tá travando lá, galera. Eles têm tópico de gaming para abordar hoje, mas não acho que vai ter muita coisa, não. Acho que a xCloud vai ser mais na E3 mesmo, viu? Hoje não tem muita opção para falar. E travou. Vou dar o F5 aqui para ver se volta. Valeu, Paulo. Valeu comparecer, cara. Então, vamos ver.
Is one where you can take data from one system and make the outcomes of the other system better. It's not about just optimizing that one system and its data. It's about being able to relate the insights, the reasoning from one to improve the outcomes in the other. And that's what the architecture of ODI enables. And in fact, you see this with what Unilever was able to do. It's a great example where they took some of the sustainability work they were doing, digitized it, used, in this case, SAP transactional information, as well as all the things that Azure provides from an Azure Data Lake side. But the most interesting thing is they said, okay, if we're going to do all this around sustainability, what if we translated that into a campaign on the front end using Adobe so that we can even help educate and market to people on their audience who care about sustainability. So the combination of that is what was really amazing to see with Unilever, where they broke free of any one silo and were able to bring all of the data to bear to improve what their business outcome is. Now, that's about Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. As I said, it's great to think about this as another first-class part of our stack as you think about your application development, because business process automation is so key and part of every application. Now, switching to Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 is the world's productivity cloud across work and life. It's that core communications, collaboration, productivity scaffolding that spans work and life. It also acts as the scaffolding for business process workflow because it creates the opportunity for your business applications to drive so much more engagement by really using this UI that's in front of users all day long for their communication needs. It also is the security endpoint and device as well as applications. And so it's a very comprehensive solution, and it's got the main thing about Microsoft 365 is it's about starting by putting people at the center and then thinking about all of their activities across applications,
Microsoft Graph é legal.
Right, that's the real change in how we think about end-user computing going forward, not starting from the device and then working forward,
vai permitir fazer o que eu quero, que é compartilhar a transferência do PC com o mobile.
That's the paradigm for Microsoft 365.
Mas, será que vai falar sobre isso?
You see, the way it manifests in terms of developer opportunity is with Microsoft Graph. So as things move to things like Office 365, what happens is a very rich database gets created. A database that is about people, their relationships with other people, their artifacts, whether it's their schedules, documents, projects, all of that is available as a first-class database structure for you. And now, not only is there Microsoft Graph, but it's these rich canvases, whether it's Windows, Office, Edge, and Teams. So it's that combination platform opportunity that I want to talk about.
Interessante hoje vai ser nessa parte.
Later this afternoon, Rajesh Jha will also be talking about all of the new capabilities across Windows, Office, Teams, Edge, and many of these capabilities. But I want to highlight a few things, starting in fact, that's what's leading to all this customer momentum. The world's brands are using Microsoft 365 today, and it's exciting to see even how some ISVs are using the Microsoft Graph. One of the announcements at this conference is how Microsoft Graph is now available through Azure Data Connect for ISVs using the permissions granted by organizations so that you can add value. Talentsoft is an HR application provider out of France, and they are working with Christian Dior to fill out their teams and skill profiles by using the Microsoft Graph data that is Christian Dior's data. So that's a good canonical example of how graph data can enable even business application vendors, and we think of this as a very rich ecosystem that's developing. Now, in fact, you see this even inside of Microsoft 365's own first-party apps. Microsoft Search, which brings universal search capability, is built on, the graph structure. My Analytics, which really keeps track of my own focus and guides me to make sure that my time is being spent on things that matter the most. That's another example of a productivity tool, but it's a tool that's built using the graph data. Cortana is another example of that, where we are really building out Cortana as a conversational interface for Microsoft 365 by really reasoning on top of the graph data. Talking about Cortana, we've now focused Cortana to really continuously keep improving on features like time to leave in Outlook is driven by Cortana, gives you heads-up commitment every morning. Whenever I make commitments in email and I forget about it, I'm reminded by Cortana about it each day so that I can keep track of the commitments I'm making. It even has suggested tasks. It's even doing suggested replies. So Cortana will continue to be that assistant that spans all of the endpoints of Microsoft 365. It's also been wired to Bot Framework as the extensibility framework. So that means if you want to write a skill, you want to be able to then wire that skill into Cortana using Bot Framework. And by the way, the same skill building using Bot Framework, you can wire it into Alexa and any other assistant as well. So that's a way for you to think about your skills. Now, this is great. This is really progressing. But one of the things we are also hard at work at is to say, okay, if this is the first innings of what is conversational canvases, what's going to come next? Now, in spite of all the progress, you got to remember today most of the conversations that we have are still very brittle. They're truly not multi-turn. The context from turn to turn gets lost, especially when human language is complex. Is complex where the context sometimes is subtle. So therefore, how do you make sure that the natural language capabilities inside of these personal assistants is capable of having that shared context across a long dialogue versus just a few turns? The second real challenge is today, most of these assistants are command systems where you have to invoke these skills one at a time. What if we can imagine a future where you can cross domains without having to invoke each skill by name? So what is a true multi-domain assistant? And of course, lastly, most importantly, we need a multi-agent world. The idea that you're always going to start with one wake word and one assistant is just not like how we start on the web, for example. Just imagine, what does an open assistant future look like? Similar to an open web. That's what we want to really ensure happens when it comes to the personal assistant. So to showcase, in fact, last year we bought a company called Semantic Machines that had fantastic natural language researchers and experts. They, along with the rest of Microsoft research community and folks in the Microsoft 365 team, are hard at work in envisioning this future. And in fact, later on at the show floor, you'll be able to see some of the demos that manifest this, but I wanted to roll a video to showcase what is possible. Let's roll the video.
Ainda não entendi porque não tem como desligar a piscina no Brasil. É porque o Brasil não está desenvolvendo Cortana mais, pelo jeito. Tem
Lunch with Tom at noon, and your app kickoff at 3 p.m. Go ahead and reschedule my walk to tomorrow at the same time.
Sure. I can move Take a Walk outside to tomorrow at 8 a.m. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, I've moved it to tomorrow.
And schedule a cram session with Nicholas and his manager from 9 to 1:30 today. And we're gonna need a room in Bellevue.
Oh, okay. I'll invite Nicholas Cohn and Michelle Estes to the cram session, and I'll put your meeting in City Center 2605. Does that look good to you?
Yeah. And push back my one-on-one with Anjali to tomorrow.
All right, I've booked your meeting. And here are a couple of options to meet with Anjali Bhatt tomorrow.
Is there anything later in the day?
Let's see. How about this one?
Yeah, that'll work. And is she invited to the app kickoff this afternoon?
No, she's not on the invite.
No, please send it to her.
Okay, I've forwarded the app kickoff to Anjali Bhatt.
Great. Oh, right. After my last meeting today, schedule 30 minutes to pick up the birthday cake.
Sure. Pick up the birthday cake at 4 p.m. Is that right?
Yep. And remind me, where is my lunch meeting today?
Lunch with Tom is at Liberty Cafe.
What's the weather going to be like?
It'll be mostly sunny and 71 degrees at Liberty Cafe at noon today.
Can we eat outside there?
Yes. Liberty Cafe has outdoor seating.
And can you send directions to my car?
Connecting to car skill. Sure, directions to Liberty Cafe have been sent to your car.
When's our next review with Cyrus?
Your next quarterly review with Cyrus Nafani is Tuesday, June 11th at 10 a.m.
Schedule a 2-hour dry run with Benjamin McIntosh the Friday before that.
All right. Does this work for you?
Yep, that looks great.
I've scheduled your dry run with Benjamin.
Thank you.
Happy to help.
We're very excited to continue to push towards this future with Cortana and Bot framework, true multi-turn, multi-domain, multi-agent world. Now switching to talk about the canvases, starting with Windows and Office. Now one of the great opportunities that is in front of us with over 800 million Windows 10 devices as well as a billion Office 365 and Microsoft 365 endpoints across devices is the opportunity for developers who have written applications for these platforms to extend their reach. Every app, whether it's a Win32 app, whether it's a WPF app, a UWP app, any app can be annotated with graph data. And all of these applications can also now incorporate natural user interface, whether it's speech, Windows Hello, Ink, and that's what we see with developers. So for example, with Windows developers, Fluid Math has built a fantastic educational app with great inking support to teach math. Concepts, which is a drawing application, in fact uses both inking as well as the Surface Dial to bring their applications to life. And when it comes to Office extensibility, for example, SurveyMonkey now in situ in an Outlook email, even on a phone, can do the survey because of these action cards that are built into Outlook. Bloomberg's taken all of their rich service and data and incorporated it into Excel using the Excel add-ins and custom functions capability. So that just shows you how Office endpoint scaffolding or application development in Windows gets richer across all of the frameworks that you may have used because of the graph as well as natural user interface. So that's how we think about the future of Windows and Office development. Now, I want to talk about Edge and what we're doing with web. You know, one of the things for us is really a set of commitments we are making to the web and web development. It starts with open source. In fact, Edge is built on Chromium. We are fully participating in the OSS community there. We've already made contributions around ARM64 support. We're also bringing accessibility support to the code base so that all browsers built on the Chromium project can benefit from it. We've brought touch capabilities. So we're going to contribute back to the open source community so that all browsers built on that code base can improve and get better. It also starts with a commitment to be truly cross-platform. We're going to have Edge on Windows 10, we're going to have Edge on Windows 7, Edge on iOS and Android, and so we're going to and the Mac, and we're going to have support for all platforms. That means end users are going to be able to use one browser across their work and life. This is great for both developers as well as IT professionals. So that's our support and commitment for cross-platform. But we're also committed to innovating on the web. One of the things that we're very excited about is so before I go to innovation, let me talk about privacy and security, because we're really committed to ensuring that the transparency and choice is there for anyone browsing, because the most important thing is to make sure that all the data that's being tracked and collected on the web is something that is first very much transparent to the end user, and the end user is in control about their own privacy and security. And so we want to make sure that we are pushing the envelope on that. And on top of that, we also want to make sure we are innovating on the web. When it comes to innovation, the first area we are focused on is collaboration. We believe we can, in fact, bring the next generation of real-time collab to the web. But these distributed data structures that are client-side with a cloud relay, we believe we can bring collaboration that truly enhances productivity of the web, and it'll work across all browsers. And that's something that I want to really, really see us push forward with great developer support, both inside of M365 and the developer community. And to show you all of this set of demos, let me throw it out to our team on the floor.
Thank you, Satya. Hi, everyone. I'm Divya Kumar from the Microsoft Edge team. I know most of you are already trying out the early previews and have started giving us feedback, so thank you. Today, I'm going to show experiences we're working on in 3 areas: how Edge will offer a seamless web experience for enterprises, how we're thinking about approaching privacy, and how we can help improve productivity on the web. Let's start with enterprise. Organizations are looking for ways to better connect their employees with resources. The new tab page on Microsoft Edge that's customizable by IT shows me my most recently used documents and other corporate resources, so they're just a click away. And with Microsoft Search, which is an enterprise search offering, using Bing technology and Microsoft Graph, Edge can show me contextually relevant search results from my organization. Let's say I'm looking for my vacation tracking tool. You can see that it's the first result and even includes a snapshot. But what we're excited to announce today is that Edge will offer built-in support for Internet Explorer. Over 60% of enterprises worldwide use IE because they have internal sites that require legacy compatibility. Today, if I were to open this site in an older version of the browser, a separate IE window would open. I'll be forced to switch back and forth between 2 browsers where one has my favorites in history and the other doesn't. It's disruptive. So we fixed it. Now when I click this link, the site opens in the same window and in the same tab with IE mode. So no more jarring experiences when you hit an internal site that needs Internet Explorer. The combination of compatibility, customizability, and legacy support makes this a fantastic choice for enterprises. Now let's talk about privacy. We get a range of reactions from customers when talking about how their browsing data is used across the web. Let's take targeted ads, for example. Some find it valuable, some find it creepy, and some just don't care. We're exploring simple tools that lets you control who can see what you browse. Here's a feature we're working on. In the privacy and security settings, I have 3 options. Depending on which option I pick, Edge adjusts how third parties can track me across the web. Unrestricted is a great option if you're fine with how things work today. Strict is a good option for those who would prefer to block all third-party trackers, even if that means some limitations. The balance setting blocks trackers from sites you haven't visited or don't give you the right level of transparency or control of your data. Regardless of which you choose, Edge will block malicious trackers. While browsing on the site, I can click on the lock icon and it tells me exactly what setting I'm on, and you can see that I'm on balance, and I can see the number of trackers that are allowed and number of trackers that are blocked. Privacy is a sensitive issue, and we think it's meaningful to empower you through transparency and a few added controls. Now let's move on to productivity. When I research on the web, it can be a really manual process. I can have dozens of tabs open. I've got multiple windows all arranged carefully so I can compare things. I can take screenshots for sharing. I'm copying and pasting content into documents. It can be pretty tedious. We're working on a feature called Collections. It helps me gather, organize, and share content more efficiently. I can launch Collections by clicking on the icon on the top right. You can see that I've already created a few collections. But what I personally love about Collections, besides the ability to collect different types of content as I'm browsing the web, is that I can email my collections directly from Edge. I can copy and paste an entire collection into other apps. I can even export it to Word and Excel. And Edge does all the formatting for me. I'll start a new collection so you can see how it works. I'm actually looking for a camera for my niece and trying to collect some photography tips. So here I am on a page. As I look, I can start to drag and drop content. And I can also switch tabs, and I can drag and drop text as well. And once I'm done looking at the content that I have, I can choose from one of the options that I've got. So you can see I can email, copy to clipboard, but I'm going to go with export to Word and show you how it works. Edge creates a clean document, even automatically includes citations. How cool is that? Now let me open another collection I'd started earlier so you can see how export to Excel works. These are some of the cameras I'd been saving up to compare earlier. Going back into Share, I'm going to click on Export to Excel. Collections does all the copy and pasting for me and categorizes for me into a table that lets me do quick side-by-side comparison. It does this using the metadata that accompanies the site or content I collected. This shows how serious we are about innovating on the web beyond just delivering on compatibility. We think these experiences are valuable to how we use the web today, and we look forward to evolving them with your feedback on the PC and on the phone. And now, Mike Morton from the Office Engineering team is going to introduce you to something we're calling Fluid Framework that works cross-browser. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Divya. Today, it is my honor to represent the Microsoft 365 team and introduce the Fluid Framework. The Fluid Framework is a new set of technologies that developers can use to build experiences for any browser that break down barriers between people and barriers between apps. It allows people to work in fundamentally new ways. We are excited to share with you a sneak preview of how Fluid may change the way you work with Microsoft 365 apps like Word, Teams, and Outlook. This will include hyper-fast co-authoring, AI and bots that collaborate with you, and components that make it easy to reuse content across tools. I'll start with a very simple scenario, co-authoring a document. Let me type just a little bit of text. Great. When Fluid powers co-authoring, collaboration feels immersive, natural, and smooth. My colleague Chika here is typing on a machine backstage, but her session is going through a data center in the central United States. Chika is working in one of these 4 browsers. You'll notice Edge and Chrome both on the screen, but it is so fast, you might not actually be able to tell which one.
She's actually using the Edge browser in the upper left. I'm going to go ahead and bring a pen here. Inking is even more latency sensitive. When I do some quick drawing, each of my key drawings takes up quite a bit more data than regular plain text. If we put Chica's screen side by side with mine, you'll see the latency is so low, it's hard to see the difference as we draw. Fluid's architecture allows Chica and I to collaborate as if we were on the same device, even in higher bandwidth scenarios. But collaboration is not just about people working together. It's a combination of people working together with AI.
Tá mostrando o mesmo navegador,
I'm going to do a little bit
mesmas
more text
páginas
typing here.
em vários computadores diferentes. Tá mostrando que o tempo de resposta é praticamente instantâneo, todos eles.
Transmitted to 8 languages. Great. As I was typing that text, hopefully you noticed that it was being translated into 9 different languages, one of each screens that you have over above. This is just one example of bots participating as collaborators in Fluid. Fluid will enable scenarios where we have tens or even hundreds of agents helping users in areas such as proofing, data insights, design ideas, security scanning, and much, much more. I'd now like to show you Fluid components.
Eu acho que nem vai
Here we have a
anunciar
document,
hoje.
and I want to go
Deve
ahead and
anunciar-
copy a table and get
Desculpa,
some
vou te
input from the
deve
team
anunciar os
members.
próximos dias
I can
só.
go ahead and paste it into a conversation here. Because it's a Fluid component, we can continue to collaborate on it even across apps. I can even go ahead and filter it down to just what's relevant for the conversation. This and hide the column. You'll see that Chica's actually backstage editing data. Of course, I can edit data right here in the main document. And what's happening, one of us is working in Teams, Chica backstage. I'm working in Word. And together, we're collaborating on the same data on the same underlying table. All right, let's go back to the document here. And I'll go ahead and insert a chart. When I insert a chart, you'll actually see a set of recommended charts. This is an example of a collaborative bot analyzing the data and providing intelligence on what visualization would work out best. I'll go ahead and choose this chart here. And I can even add a formula in line in my document. I'll go ahead and summarize or do a sum of the number of units being delivered. And I'll click enter and kind of scroll up. And again, I can continue to change numbers. Chica can change numbers backstage. And you'll see the chart, the formula, and the underlying table all being updated in real time. You may have noticed that I got a little email notification from Chica while we're working. The Fluid framework isn't just about new apps like Teams, but can be integrated into almost any application experience. I'll go ahead and click on this message here. And you'll see this is not just an ordinary table. This is a Fluid component. It's collaborative, and it's updating in real time. The scenario with Word, Teams, and Outlook shows Fluid aiding productivity by providing low latency collaboration, AI co-authors, and embeddable components. Thank you so much for letting us share an early preview of the Fluid framework. Later this year, this technology will come to Microsoft 365 experiences and be exposed to developers through an SDK. Back to you, Satya.
Thank you, Divya and Mike. I think the world is ready for another choice when it comes to web and innovation. We are very, very excited about both Edge as well as the Fluid framework and what developers can do with it. Now I want to move to Teams. Teams, by far, in my own experience at Microsoft, is the fastest growing application that I've seen. It's tremendous to see its growth, but one of the most interesting things is the opportunity it creates for developers. When you think about Teams, it's a scaffolding that has 4 capabilities built into it. It has messaging, it has video conferencing and meetings, it has collaboration, as well as the ability to integrate any business process workflow. All these 4 things are possible using the Teams scaffolding. And we are seeing tremendous adoption across customers. And one of the things that really Teams for the first time has shown is that Microsoft 365 toolchain is not just for the knowledge workers. In fact, some of the fastest growing use cases in Microsoft 365 is what we describe as first-line usage. So this is retail specialists, people on the factory floor, in the hospitals using Teams. Some examples, Hendrick Sports is using it for their NASCAR training team. Marks & Spencer's is using it for their retail specialists in the stores. NHS is using it to bring care coordination in their hospitals. So these are amazing examples of how Teams and the 4 capabilities all light up to enable this and to show you all of the new capabilities and features in Teams, as well as the rich hardware ecosystem opportunity and how that is developing around Teams and some of the new innovation. I wanted to invite up on stage Rana Amjadi from our Teams organization. Come on up.
Thanks, Satya. Thank you. Microsoft Teams was designed to foster an inclusive work
Desculpa aí,
culture
galera,
for
tô cuidando da minha
everyone,
irmã aqui.
from the
Aí
C-suite to the first line.
Aí fui só dar uma
This
olhadinha,
first line area of the workforce, like retail associates or factory technicians, has traditionally been underserved by technology, but we're working hard to change that. Earlier this year, we introduced the Teams mobile first line experience. You can see here, first line workers, they're often usually the first to respond when something goes awry. Now they can take a picture of the situation using the smart camera, annotate it, add some context. And in this situation, it's a cleanup, but it could be a factory chemical spill. They can mark these messages as urgent or important, make sure the right people see them right time. They can also share the location, making it easier to keep track of deliveries or meet up with a team. And with the new shifts experience in Teams, they can easily see their shift schedule, sign up for, or swap shifts with coworkers, all right from the phone. Now, you may remember last year at Build, we showed you our vision for modern meetings. Let's take a look at how we're bringing that to life in Teams. We focus on making the meetings experience more inclusive and hassle-free with live captions that make it easier for everyone to engage in the conversation. With customized backgrounds that help you minimize the distractions behind you. Pretend you're on the beach, or pretend you're in the office if you're actually on the beach. Teams will also help you find meeting rooms based on your proximity, making it easier for you and your team to just hop into a quick huddle. And you'll have the full immersive meeting experience with multiple video streams like Brady Bunch style. But what would a keynote be without a little bit of magic? People joining the meeting remotely should feel as included in the discussion, even if the team is brainstorming at a whiteboard. So by simply connecting a USB webcam to the Teams room, using AI, the room will find the whiteboard image and straighten it to make it more legible. It also detects people and makes them transparent. So if someone walks in front of the whiteboard to write something, the team online will be able to see right through them, like literally right through them. It's pretty cool. And all of these features have been designed to work best with our ecosystem of Teams devices, making meetings and callings experiences better in conference rooms, at your desk, and on the go. It's been so incredible to see what you've been building with our apps across so many categories and industries. Whether you're using Office 365 apps, any of our hundreds of partner apps, or building your own, Teams unifies all of these experiences into one hub. And it's up to you to choose how to bring that to life for your organization, whether that's through developing your own solutions and using Power Apps to integrate workflows, or surfacing actionable canvases to meet your users where you are. Now, Rajesh will go much deeper into how to build custom apps for Teams in the Microsoft 365 keynote. But all of these points draw on the Microsoft Graph, opening up a wide range of possibilities for empowering your people and your organization. This is the power of the Teams platform, and we're so excited to see what you build next. Now, let's check out how one of our partners, Spatial, has teamed up with Mattel to build custom solutions using HoloLens and Microsoft 365 to make collaboration a more immersive experience. Let's head to the showcase floor. Thanks.
Thank you, Rana. I'm excited to show you, our fellow developers, how we at Spatial have been able to enrich our existing holographic collaboration app with HoloLens 2, Azure Spatial Anchors, the Microsoft Graph, and Teams. We were really blown away by how quick and easy it was to use these simple APIs to make Spatial even more useful for our customers by leveraging the power of the Microsoft Graph that they are already running their businesses on. For example, we're going to show you how our customer Mattel ideates, designs, and collaborates across global borders on multiple brands that we all know and love, like Hot Wheels, Barbie, and Fisher-Price. Let's take a look. So I'm going to jump onto my PC here, and I'm already in a Teams channel. And I can see Amanda's posted some cool new content, but why don't we upgrade this to a live spatial meeting to get everyone on the same page? I'm actually just going to click over to the spatial tab in Teams,
Falou, galera.
and I
Desculpa aí,
get this really cool 3D dollhouse view. I'm going to click into the room where I can see everybody, but since I have a HoloLens 2 here, why don't I take this off a 2D screen into a 3D meeting?